Hi everyone, I hope you're well. Thanks for clicking on the video. We have more The Last of Us news. Who'd have thought, right? I've been keeping a keen eye open on the internet, making sure that anything that gets released, any new details and information, I can just jump on it and make a video straight away. So that's why I'm here right now. The guys over at HBO announced that they've begun the final audio mixing, right? Which is super exciting. It's nice to know that they're nearing to the end of the project. And with this announcement, they uploaded this photo, right? Of their audio engineers, and in the background they've got subtitled scenes from the show, and as you can see in this one it says there is no vaccine, and straight away this led me to believe it was the maybe one of the final scenes of the show. I was thinking it could be from after when Joel breaks Ellie out of the hospital and gets her away from the Fireflies, right? You know, he breaks it down to her, he says, look, you're not special, there are lots of people like you, there is no vaccine. That's what my mind jumped to, but looking online it looks like everyone else is kind of thinking that maybe it's from early on in the show, like when the breakout was first happening and they realised that there is no cure and that it's all going to go tits up pretty quick. So I think that could make sense too. Also on the left side of the screen, as you can see, there was this, you've got to really zoom in to see this, but it looks like a man in scrubs, right? And so that would correlate with what I was saying before, with it being towards the end of the show when they break out Ellie. I think that would make a lot of sense. As you can see in this image as well, it says The Last of Us Season 1. This leads to a lot more questions for me, like, Season 1 you say? Does that mean there's going to be another season? Are we not going to finish the original story in one season? Is it going to end on a cliffhanger? Or do they plan on continuing over to The Last of Us Part 2 and following that game story as well? Because if they plan on doing that, it's going to be a lot more than just the 2 seasons, you know what I mean? The Last of Us Part 2 is massive, it will take a lot of content to follow that storyline, in my humble opinion, as well as do all the characters in that story justice that they deserve, right? It would take a lot of content. We've also managed to get our hands on some video of behind the scenes footage from The Last of Us as well. I've muted the original audio, but because it was just so loud and obnoxious, lots of explosions and fireworks. But in the background you can hear this crowd of people all screaming, fuck Fedra, fuck Fedra. I'm thinking this could be somewhere in the story where the quarantine zones start to run out of supplies, right? And things are starting to look a little bit dodgy. I think maybe they could have this, depending on the pacing of the show, they could have this somewhere on episode 2, I think, or maybe even the end of episode 1, somewhere in that ballpark, I think. I'm not sure if they've announced the budget for the show. I'm gonna have to do some research on that. But this doesn't look low budget by any stretch of the imagination. Like, it looks like they pulled out all the stops here. Like, they've got tanks. It looks like they've blocked off half the bloody city to film this, you know what I mean? It's crazy. This has got me thinking, I wonder if they dive deeper than they did in the video games into the time frame of when the virus starts to spread, because in the game we don't get to see that, do we? It does a 20-year or a 12-year time jump. You know what I mean? So it'd be really interesting to see what that time in life looked like in the world of The Last of Us, because it spread like wildfire. The virus just got out so quickly, it was like overnight. In the blink of an eye, everybody's lives have changed forever, right? It's crazy. It's actually a shame we didn't get to see more of that in the game, but hopefully they make it up for us in the show. It looks like they really are not pulling back any stops. Finally, we have a short clip. It looks like, to me, from far away, it looks like Joel, Ellie, Henry and Sam, right? I'm guessing this will be around the time in the game where they're trying to look for their little base, you know, that they made like an office base, and they're trying to take Ellie and Joel there to be safe for the evening. If I had to guess, that's where this scene is taking place. So that brings us to the end of the video. If you enjoyed, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel for more Last of Us content, and I'll see you next time.